pleasant good day, my beloved brothers and sisters in Christ and outside the body of Christ. Well, once again, this is a Christian brother Eric Roxon speaking to you all from his beloved country, Trinidad and Tobago, the land of my nativity, the land of my birth, Trinidad and Tobago, this wonderful island country that is in the blue Caribbean Sea. Speaking to you all in the month of April 2021. Well, brothers and sisters, this is a continuation of part of the video that were cut off, and this is a continuation of the next part of the said name and title of the video. Yeah, so as I was saying, brothers and sisters, so those rich guys who gone up in space tourism and spend $2 million or $3 million with the Russian cosmonauts or the American astronaut space agency, when they go amongst the poor people in the ghetto in the shanty towns and talk that talk amongst them and say, you know, I went, hey, here, hi, little poor sister, here, poor madam, or here, poor boy and girl, you know, I spent $2 million and I went up in space. I spent 5 days with the astronauts and the Russian, or if you went up with the Russian cosmonauts. You think the poor people want to hear that talk? Because, and then again, to make it worse, he came amongst them empty-handed. And they will say, you are a rich guy, but look, you come to our poor community. We don't even have food to eat, either dinner, breakfast, or supper. And you are eating lamb, ham, and jam. And you come with your hands swinging to give us that talk. We doesn't want to hear that. Eh? Did you come here with 10 trucks loaded up with rice and food and goodies and meat and rice so you could feed the village, feed the community? After all, you're a rich guy. Yeah, you're a millionaire, a billionaire, or a multimillionaire. That $2 million they went up and spent with the Russian cosmonauts, so you could have spent it in our community, but you come with your hands swinging empty and giving us this talk. But you talk that talk with a rich partner. When you came down the 5 days after, you invite a rich friend because you keep a big party to celebrate that you went up in space safe and you come back down space, and you knock glass with them and you tell them you went up in space and you spent $4 million. But you come amongst we poor people to tell us that we doesn't want to hear that. You have your money in your bank. They say, oh, you spent $3 million. I come here, chief, the chief at the tongue or the elders at the tongue. Look, the old talk that he's given us. Can you put sense in his head and tell him, ask him how much million he have? You say you have 75 million. Oh, well, you throw away $3 million. Well, go now and take out $5 million, rent about 10 trucks and load it up with goodies, grocery, milk, tin of sardine, meat, clothes, all kind of thing, and roll it in the village and distribute it to all the families and see about us. You have $50 million. You spend three, you waste that. Just take out five and come and do that for us. Then you could sit down and we could hear what you say. But right now we don't want to hear what you're saying. That's exactly what the poor people will tell that rich boy or tell that rich man. So what I am saying in essence, so you see, you all rich guys, that money that you all giving the space agency with this foolishness of space tourism, you all need to spend that money right here down here amongst the poor people instead of giving it to the agency. The government is already funding NASA, and the Russian government is already funding the cosmonaut agency. But you all take millions and want to spend it with them when you should go in the ghetto and spend it amongst the poor people. That's what you should do. But you are doing that. You want to go amongst them empty-handed talking that talk. They don't want to hear that talk. Neither do I want to hear that. And therefore, I am out to stop you all in all your tracks. To stop you all in all the tracks, all the rich people. When I mean stop you all in all the tracks, to discourage you all from taking that money and going in space and going in Africa, going in South America amongst the poor people and spend it amongst the Aborigines in Australia, the First Nation people all over the world, and help them out in a great and in a mighty way. That's what you all need to do, and I'm instructing you all to do that. Yes, this little Christian boy from Trinidad and Tobago, and I want the whole world know. That's why I'm putting out this information in the public domain throughout the international community. So this video will be seen on YouTube and people all over the world in all nations will access this video on my social media platform, the internet, on YouTube, to hear what Eric Braxton have to say on that and my take. I condemn that practice because that practice is an injustice. But these fellas are not seeing they're doing injustice. They think they're going up there to having a joyride because they have the money to spend. So you see, it's not poor people, it's rich people could do that. When the rich really supposed to help out the poor. You see? But is that they're doing that? No, they're not doing that. They want to see the poor people suffer and take that money and put it in the agency, either what the Americans pay NASA or the Russian cosmonaut, and pay them, the agency, they're already funded by the government million or no, but taking the million and give them to go up in space when they could have take that million. You understand? And go amongst all them old people citizen homes with the women and the men, old citizen, and spend that money and help out the poor fathers and the poor old men and the poor old women in the homes. And buy medicine and all these things for them. But are they doing that? No, they are doing that. Only go and spend it up the. And therefore I'm against space tourism. That's why I'm talking about it. It's so ridiculous and absurd. You to them. And the same context. That's as against space tourism, against the going on the planet Mars, the colonize Mars. Who is God instructing them to do that? Well, God is not instructing none of them to do that. Well, of course, here you all will go. This fella, Eric Braxton, is telling us that God is not inspiring us to do that. He's a prophet of doom and gloom. Oh, it looked like he have a sinister agenda against our plan in NASA and all these rich people. He is this want to discourage them from going up in space. Who is he? First, he don't have the financial wherewithal. He only making videos and talking his mouth against us and talking this talk. We will carry on our project, and Eric Braxton will not stop us. We will not listen. I watch it as it. I watch it. We will not listen to Eric Braxton. Mhm, mhm, He's speaking against us about talking us. That's what all you're saying. Yeah, because what you all are doing is the wrong thing. And you always say, look, he had the audacity to tell us that God is not inspiring us to do that. So who is inspiring us to do that? Or who is inspiring all to do that? Well, I know that you all have all your own dreams and visions. I mean, dreams and aspiration, and all your own sinister agenda. But I am saying God is not inspiring you all to do that. God wants all to take that money and spend it down here amongst the poor people. Mhm. Not up the Mars. He tell all to go to the planet Mars to build houses and all these things. Eh? To build houses in colonies and all kind of things. How much people all go up there with? Look the distance from Mars. All they can only make that trip. How long all can make that trip? It's not to say like you all on the earth going from California to Texas, that you all could make that trip in no time. Go up there, come back down, go up there, come back down, go up in no time. But not so with the planet Mars. Mm. And you look at money you all have to do to put out the resources to do that. You want to send people up there? And what about air? You all will get oxygen to breathe. And when the oxygen run out, you all will get air, all have to carry tanker air up there to breathe. Only making things hard for themselves. When down here, only walking and breathing, all that have no oxygen all the tank. Down here easy for us because God put man here. He didn't put man on the planet Mars. That's what I'm teaching all you. That's what I'm teaching you all. He sent all you up there. Is he inspiring all you to do that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But here all you go as again. Eric Braxton is a false prophet, a false teacher, and he lambasting us and all these negative things that he's preaching against us. And you all will discourage people not to listen. Yeah, I know that, but I still talk against what you all are doing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. God want all to spend that money down here. You all remember Lazarus and the rich man? Lazarus, the king was rich and wealthy, And the poor man, he didn't even have food to eat. All they take that money and better go and spend it amongst the poor people. They need food, they need medicine, and all these things. Take that money and spend it there. Build houses for them in the community. Instead of going up there to build houses and colonize the planet Mars. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They need to read that chapter in the book of Luke and take a page out of it and learn the lesson, what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. 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 But all they ignorant to that, what is written in the Bible. But all they want to go up there, explore Mars. Who sent all they up there? Who sent all they up there? Mm-hmm. Of course, not me. Because I don't want none of them to go up there. Mm-hmm. Ooh, boy. And what kind of houses all they building? The houses all they build that all they build down here, all they can build it up there. Nice 2 stories house, swimming pool in the yard, windows open. Yeah, all they can do that. All they have to build something to cover up, no air to come in because all they know the air there is not like the air down up here. All that's an oxygen tank. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Why all build a nice house, all build up here to come out in all the gallery and relax, man. No oxygen tank, and all you could do that down here. Why all do it up here? Build nice story house upstairs and downstairs with all the nice gallery and come out on the planet Mars with no oxygen tank to breathe and watch out. All they can't do that. Because all you know the air is not like here, down here like up there. Mm-hmm. But the little houses, all they want to build a colony, all they have to be inside like in a box with oxygen in it for all they to breathe like the submarine. Because all the people in the submarine is the oxygen tank that keeping them alive. Let the oxygen run out now, that they resurface and come up and open the thing on top, they breathe on top. All they want to be like that up there. Hmm. You see this, you see the ridiculousness all they putting all themselves in, and it seems like all they're not seeing that. And since I see that, I'm telling all of that all of face. Mm-hmm. All of that face. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. God is seeing exactly what I see. All what I see, He's seeing that before me. Uh-huh. But you all blind to that, man. And they think all of go up there and think it'll be easy and rosy and nice all here. It will be no easy and nice all here. Down here on all the build all the nice house and thing, all they could swim in the swimming pool. And look all they could plant tomatoes and all kind of thing. Uh, it any sea for a little bit up there, it have any swimming pool for a little come out and bit. And what all they could come out and have gardening up there, plant tomatoes and those and corn and rice and wheat with no oxygen tank on all the nice shoes and all the plain clothes, that's as all the dress down here, come out and walk on the planet Mars and plant all the tomatoes. All they could do that, all they could do that down here. But all they can't do it up there. You see the hardship all they putting all themselves into? I telling all of that all the fees. Or the government don't want to tell all of that. The politicians doesn't want to tell all of that. But I telling all of that all the fees. You all need to abandon all these sinister projects and bring it to a stop in the shortest possible time because all the exploration of space is not adding up. It's not adding up at all. And all the space tourism is not adding up neither. But it's all that talk I talk with all they still doing it, going up in space with all the joyride and coming down and spending millions of that when all they could spend it to the poor people in the community that need that money to help them out in a great and mighty way. Mhm. And this is my message, ladies and gentlemen. This is my message to all of them. You think they will learn that lesson that I've just taught them? I pray and I hope. I just pray and hope that this video will make it and people will give it a, a Christian high five plus a positive acceptance and they will share this video wide and far. I hope some trusted person will see this video and decide to say, what Eric Braxton is saying is true. What he's saying is true. It makes sense. It is sense itself. I just don't want to watch this video. I want to tell others about the video and tell others go and watch Eric Braxton videos so they could share that video and you could take a copy of this video and go down in NASA and show them what Eric Braxton have seen, to put sense in the head. Mhm. And all these people who have that project, to put sense in their head and let them know what Eric Braxton, my take on that. So when they see this video, they will ponder and see, what is that the Christian boy seeing is true. We need to abandon that, and that resources spend it amongst the people. Mhm. Who is that man and who is that woman? Will take my video and show these people that. Make a copy of it and show them out and show them that what Eric Braxton have said, so that that message will reach their heart, mind, and soul. Comfort that young boy and that young man, or that ageable man, ageable woman, and show them that message. Show them that message to bring sense to their head after all. So they will abandon that projects, these projects. But at least they will hear what I have to say. So even if they reject what I say, they can't say that they didn't hear what Eric Braxton is warning them and telling them about. But at the end of the day, the ball is in their court. They have a choice. They accept what I say. Of course, I doesn't want them to reject, but it's either accept or reject. But I want them to accept or not reject. And even if they reject what I say, well, then they will learn. Then they will learn it the hard way. It's simple as that. They will learn it the hard way. It's simple as that. They will see what I am saying is true. God put man on the planet Earth. He didn't put man on the planet Mars. He didn't put man on the planet Mars. And if God wants human beings or people to go on the planet Mars to live in the future, that is in his hands. He will instruct us what to do at that time when that time comes. But right now we want us down here because he put us down here. But mankind want to go up there. And when they go up there, will they live permanently up there? Have wife and children and get married and all kind of thing? You see all these things they're not thinking. All these things are not thinking. And how a family will live up there? Where the child will go to school and all these things. So the child will be educated, going to school up there on the planet Mars. Will be living up there, completing his education on all these things. And if the child is decided my mother and parents is really from Earth, but they give birth to me up there, but I want to come back down to Earth. Oh look, then they have to bring him back down to Earth. So you see the kind of contradiction that they put in themselves in, and they're not thinking about these things. And I'm showing them that. Mhm. And if the girl that is born of the from the parents who went up the get to find out that Earth have car and Earth have sea to bathing and rivers and fish to catch and all kind of thing and animals and thing down here, and she tells she parents, well, you all live from down here, no, but only came up there. But I born up there. I want to come back down to see the tigers and to touch them in Africa and Asia. Then they had to travel she from there to bring she back down to Earth. So you see the problem they put in themselves in, and they're not thinking about that. And since I'm thinking about that, I'm showing them all that. That's to show the ridiculousness and the contradiction all of them put in themselves in. You see? You see, ladies and gentlemen, because they want to leave here and go up there. Send them up there, not me. And I sure not God sending them at all. But I know that you all will see. Is Eric Braxton a prophet? He's one of God's spokesmen. When did God tell him to see these things against us? He's a prophet of gloom and doom. We as rich people, we are wealthy people, we are educated people, we are backed by the corporate societies, we are backed by the societies. They have approved our projects and the government, and we have the funding to do it. And this little Christian boy is telling us, who is he? Who is he to stop us? Who is he to tell us these things? Who is me to tell you all these things? Well, you all will find out in due course of time. Who is me and who is telling you all these things? And I will leave it at that. Yeah, I'll leave it exactly as that. So that's the reality, ladies and gentlemen. You see the contradiction they put in themselves in there, and therefore I not supporting none of the projects that are how to go and do in Mars and colonize Mars. I'm not supporting not one of the projects, ladies and gentlemen, because it is so ridiculous and absurd. Uh-huh. And more to say about that now. Uh-huh. This is not the end of this. More to say about that. And look at the distance from Earth to the planet Mars, ladies and gentlemen. First, these people, where they will get drinking water from? It have any pipe up there? It had any river where they could get a constantly flow of water? Eh? 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 You see what they put in themselves in? Or down on Earth have all these things? You see? You see? You see what they put in themselves in, ladies and gentlemen? Or they have any hospital? You see what they put in themselves in, ladies and gentlemen? You see what they put in themselves in? Oh, you see all these things they put in themselves in. You see? You see? You have any police up there? You want to go up there and build colony? They have police officers up there? Will have any army up there? You see? All these things what they want to leave her to go up there and live permanently for a couple of months or come back down. When I analyze it, I see the ridiculousness left, right, and center, ladies and gentlemen, and all what they're planning to do. And therefore, I'm not supporting none of the projects. I'm not supporting space tourism neither.